Hey, what's up, family? Today we're gonna be checking out the pitch meeting family for Fast X Family. I had fun with this movie, man. This series knows exactly what it is, and I think even if you had that in question in the previous entries about, do they just kind of understand what kind of movie they're making? I think they definitely know, and they kind of let us know that they know, in this film at least, that they're in on the joke at this point. Not that I would call it a joke, because these movies are just balls to the wall adrenaline fun. Like they are dumb, they are silly, but my God, do they put a smile on my face like 95% of the time. So that said, let's check out pitch meetings, because this is a fun series to always have picked apart, man. Let's go ahead and dive in. Here we go.
So, you have a new Fast and Furious movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. And I think you can figure out what this one's gonna be called. I've literally never been able to guess. None of these titles have any rhyme or reason to them. Come on, give it a shot. I guess Fast 10, as in fasten your seatbelts? That's right, sir, you got it.
It's actually not a bad one, man.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. Well, Fast X, we're doing a Roman numeral thing. Ah, dang it. So
Fasten your seatbelts.
We're gonna kick things up a notch, because get this, somebody from Dom's past is back for revenge. Right, that's kind of always the case. So this time it's personal. It's literally always personal. Yeah, but see, this time it's personaler. It's more, whatever, I don't care. It works for me, that sounds good. Yeah, so see, we're gonna flash back to Fast 5, and it turns out the bad guy from that movie had a son named Dante, and he's a very angry, sexy pirate. Oh, sexy, angry pirates are tight. And so since Dom killed his father and burned all his money, he's been studying him for 10 years to find out what makes him tick. 10 years? 10 years, and he finally cracked the code. You know what it is? I feel like it's family. It's family. Right, that doesn't feel like a decade-long riddle. So now that he's figured that out, it's time for some revenge. So what does he do? Well, he's gonna go force Dom to play...
I don't know, man. Like, the extent that he orchestrates all this stuff, it does get a little loopy and requires at least some forethought and planning. 10 years, though, still a little bit of a stretch, but yeah, man. That's a very good point. It's not hard to figure out what Dom is about, though.
Rocket League at the Vatican. What? Yeah, Dante set this big rolling ball bomb loose in the city, and even though Dom saves the Vatican, there's still a big explosion that destroys a bunch of stuff. Oh, yeah, my God, dude. So a bunch of people die? No, everybody's fine, nobody's hurt. How? Well, right after the action scene, we're gonna show a news report saying that nobody died, so people are gonna have to believe us. Smart. So anyway, Dante frames the Fast family for the explosion, and they become the most wanted people in the world.
Again.
So I guess they go into hiding. You know it. Well, first Dom has to go do some light posing in front of the Coliseum. Why would he go there? That's one of the most popular tourist destinations on the planet. So that'll be a cool shot for the trailer. That makes sense. So now the Fast family's kind of split up all around the world, and they have this agency after them. What agency? The agency. Okay. So one of these teams is Roman and Tej and Ramses, and they've got to buy a new computer for hacking or something. I could not care less what it's for. Okay. And so Roman and Tej are gonna bicker as they do, and at a certain point, Roman's gonna take some dust from his pocket and just throw it up in the air. What's that? What, did I miss something? No. All right. Anyway,
yeah,
so then they're gonna try to buy a new...
I was so confused about that. I mean, it comes back up later, but it still doesn't make up any sense why he did it in the first place. To be honest, like, their whole side shtick was one of my least favorite parts of the movie. But it still was kind of fun here and there.
The computer from the random celebrity cameo hat. Yay! Pete Davidson.
This whole section didn't need to exist.
Know who that is. So when they see him, they'll be like, I know who that is. Exactly.
It
so
did
that's gonna be
nothing
very fun for everybody. And then Han is gonna accidentally eat some psychedelics. Oh, he is? Yeah, he's gonna be eating one of these muffins, and then he's gonna look at it and be like, whoa. Wow. So what effect is that gonna have on the next couple of scenes?
Immediately gone.
None whatsoever. We're never gonna reference it again. Huh. And so that about concludes the most random scene I've ever written, mostly using Mad Libs. Wow. Anyway, so it turns out Dante is also targeting Dom's son, Little B. So Dom's brother Jacob from the last movie comes in to protect him, you know, as the fun uncle. It's gonna be the fun section. Wacky fun uncle. He was completely serious and deadly in the last movie. Hey,
but now he's John Cena.
Adventure together. Oh,
again.
Fun. Yeah, they're gonna commit multiple crimes together, even kill some people. The kid is gonna kill people. Oh yeah, he's gonna personally blow up several people people in their cars using missiles. Wow, he must be so traumatized. Now he's pumped about taking those lives. He's gonna high-five John Cena about it. Kid's kind of a psycho. Such a good time making human bodies explode to death. All right, so what else is going on?
Didn't even think about that.
In the movie. You're not in the movie. What else is going on in the movie? Oh, well, Letty got arrested during that Rocket League game in Rome, so she gets sent to a remote prison. Oh, she does? She does. All the way in Antarctica, so she's got to find a way to break out. Sounds like that's going to be hard to do. Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, see, this good agency lady Tess stabs her, so she goes to this medical area and is strapped to a table next to Cypher. She's from the last 2 or 3 of the 10 movies. She sure is, sir. And since Cypher is such a good hacker, she uses the little touchscreen on the side of their beds to not only set them free, but to gas every single guard in the building. Why would that be accessible on a hospital bed touchscreen? Unclear, but it is. So then her and Letty are going to have a little fist fight. And at this point, it'll have been like 30 seconds since the last action scene. Oh my God, what are you nuts? Make them punch each other. This isn't a slow burn drama. Yeah, don't worry, they're going to punch each other. Amazing. Pow, pow, pow. Yeah. And so eventually Dante is going to manage to locate Dom's son. Oh no, he's part of the family. So now Dom's got to go to Portugal because that's where my dart hit the map on the wall of my office while writing this. Very globe-trotty. So Dante manages to kidnap Dom's son, and so Dom and Jacob have to do some very upset driving very quickly. Well, if that's not the promise of the premise, I don't know what is. But then some of the cars are dangerous, so Jacob sacrifices himself. So he dies. Well, sir, his car explodes into a massive fireball, so no, probably not. Oh, okay, good. And then
given this series track record, he's probably okay. But they play it straight, man. They do. Like they always do. But if you know who comes back, like who stays dead? I don't know anymore.
This plane carrying almost the entire
I don't care though. I really don't.
Shot down and explodes. Oh no. And Dom and his son escape this massive explosion on a dam, only to have the dam be exploded itself, and a huge wall of water rushes towards them. Oh my God, oh no. And so, yeah, wait, what? I feel like that's a natural cutting off point. That's a good place to end that. We're just ending it there. Nothing's resolved. Yeah, we'll see what happens in a couple of years. I think that's a good place to leave it. I don't know, man. I think we're gonna need to give people a little more than that. I can have Gal Gadot pop out of a submarine and reveal her character's not dead. That'll work, yeah. Okay, great. So
that's what I was talking about.
And we cut to credits. Well, maybe a tiny bit more for people. We can bring back some other character we haven't seen in a while in a mid-credit scene. Perfect. Yeah, that'll distract people from the movie just kind of ending in the middle of an action scene.
Dude, I literally laughed out loud in the theater and just chuckled to myself when it was revealed that he was back. Because with all the shits that's been going on surrounding him, his team, and all of that, since the whole Black Adam debacle, it's kind of hilarious. Because like exactly as this headline says, he's like, I'm not working with these people ever again. He said that shit publicly, and he's right back here. Probably because his last couple of movies, his last whole plan, his attempted coup of the DC universe backfired to all hell. He's probably running right back to this franchise, hoping to get some glimmer of like appeal back. You know, that whole like reputation is going to follow him for a while now, especially with the very public beef that he's had with Vin and his team and this crew that works on these films, man. I was tickled to death by that because I didn't expect to see his character come back at all. And again, with Giselle coming back and, you know, Han surviving what he did and the strings that they pulled to make that come back around and the Letty thing, dude, you cannot tell me Jacob's dead. You just can't. There's some laughably dumb stuff in this movie, but at the same time, like it's still so much fun. And I've heard some people say this is more ridiculous than the past two. I would disagree personally. I think that it actually pulls back while it does play up more of like an absurd kind of, and I think it's all from Jason Momoa and his plan and his performance and stuff. He plays an over the top character, but like if we're talking like the things that happen in the movie, I feel like it is scaled a little bit back from the bridge rope that swung them across that chasm and the going to space and just so much. I mean, let's be real. Dom is basically a superhuman. He one arm flips a car in this movie. But hell, he stomped once and crumbled an entire parking garage. Dude's a superhero, man, in this universe. They all are, really. So like, I don't care. I don't care about it anymore. Like, as far as like the realism of it, like as much as I love the grounded nature of it where it started off, for a wholly different reason, I enjoy what they're doing with these films right now. It's dumb, it is fun, but like there's some pretty heartfelt moments in here, if you excuse like the very borderline 90s, 80s kind of cliched dialogue throughout there. Like almost every conversation could be a line you would hear in just the trailer, or just like a stock meme on like Facebook. But there's some charm that these movies have that it just still works in this fun, just shove that popcorn in your mouth and turn your brain off movie kind of way. And it's just, I don't know, I like going into a film and just being able to just sit there and just let the things happen to my brain without having to like be like, what does this mean? What's going to happen? And all that kind of stuff. I'm kind of surprised that outside of the reference to Jason Momoa playing this like frantic, manic pirate kind of guy, that he didn't really dive all that much more into that character other than his backstory and being yet another person we've never heard of or seen before from Dom's past, just randomly showing up. That there was no other commentary for like anything that happens outside of that, like the way that he's just always on top of everything, the way he's got like this 5D chess kind of game that he's playing, the ridiculous traps that he sets up. He talks to corpses and paints their toenails while wearing a robe and pigtails, and his character is wild, dude. Jason Momoa was hands down the best thing in this movie, and I like quite a lot about it. I would say, even if you're not a fan of these movies, I think you would have a lot of fun watching at least Jason Momoa. He was definitely the highlight of the film. Also, like he said, like the whole like, let's have just a random cameo, and it was the Pete Davidson scene. Like that, it didn't move the plot forward. They just show up and leave. Like, he's supposed to be some connection or like some underground like dealer that might be able to help them get some hand on some tech after they pretty much lost all their stuff in this previous trap. So they're trying to find their way to anybody or any way that they can help them get out a message to the rest of the team. And they just stop into this random like little like computer bar, and Pete Davidson is there. He's got a tray of special muffins or brownies or something. And he just turns them into the cops, and nothing happens from that because they don't actually encounter any cops, and they're just forced to leave and go on to the next plot point where they could have just bypassed that and went to the next plot point. Like, that scene doesn't need to exist. And like he said, even like that throwing dust thing that you referenced for Tyrese, that only comes back in that scene where he has a bicker off with Tej and Han, and they get into a scuffle, and he picks up some dirt and throws it in his face. That's it. It's just a slapsticky random scene that does absolutely nothing. And like he said, the Han thing, he eats the muffins, he starts to trip, and then he sees some weird funky collars, and that's it. He's back to just being fine the next time you see Han. God, but Dom throws a helicopter at some people. He wields 2 helicopters as basically car maces or bolas attached to his own car. There's so many bonkers things in this film, and yet I still think they've done some more insane things in the previous entries, but still kind of just right under that same like volume level. Yeah, man, this franchise, thanks to Jason Momoa's character, knows exactly what he's doing because he has a lot of very meta lines. It's like, dude, you guys have been to space, you've done some crazy shit, how are you even alive? Like, there's a lot of little lines in there where he's just he acknowledges the insanity that we are witnessing on screen throughout all the different movies, as he's kind of cataloging all of their kind of achievements at one point. So they know. I mean, it's in the script. They know. And I'm here for that. I mean, they're not trying to be anything they're not, and I can respect that at this point. But I'm excited to see what they do next with this, and how this comes to a close and how they get out of this situation and just what more crazy adventures this crew gets themselves into and what other drama may or may not happen when The Rock comes back. But guys, what did you think of the movie? What did you think of this pitch meeting? Sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. And before you go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Manny Share, Ryan, Karen, Philly Vane, Yorick, Coruscant, Margaret Grace, Melita, Robert Anguiano, Jeffrey Hale, M. Sephiroth, Jake and Trell, Tiff, and Eric Official. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, family.